went through conversion therapy for a period of 6 months.
They told me that my sexuality needed to change.
Believing you're broken is one of the most incredibly damaging things.
To me, it was unthinkable that I would say no to what the priest...
Beyond conversion. A difficult piece to watch, but ultimately so important and gave me hope that we are having these open conversations about this and that we got to look inside conversion therapy from multiple different viewpoints, from the people who endured it, from those who were within the church and who believed in it at a time, so we could see how this comes to be, how this happens, and that there is aspects of love and community and spirituality and light within it, but ultimately the practice is truly inhumane and degrading to an individual. So I was very much appreciative of the multifaceted approach, getting to see those testimonies and just the nuance that they uncovered. Getting to see how people get to that point was something you don't hear of very often. We just hear the villainizing aspect, but it's important to get all sides so that council could make the appropriate decision. And I was blown away that conversion therapy was still happening. And I really hope that people can see this and reconsider, but also reach out to those in the rainbow community and let them know that they're perfect exactly how they are. And no desires deserve, or those desires do not deserve that kind of punishment and torture.
This is a different take on conversion therapy. I watched a documentary similar to this one a couple of weeks back, and I feel like it is so important to continue sharing these stories, normalizing that this still exists even in 2023. There are still companies out there funding these conversion therapies, and knowing that people are still praying the gay away and having exorcisms and seeing this aspect of that, and the eeriness of it all being shot in the location of a church even, I thought was kind of an eerie factor for me. I don't know, maybe it just personally, churches personally give me the heebie-jeebies sometimes. So I think it was very important to continue this conversation and to keep sharing these stories.
Beyond conversion therapy was a really poignant piece. Conversion therapy in general is a really heartless thing. It's really barbaric. It is incredibly traumatic for these young people to go through that and to be subjected to something like that by their parents and their community that they're supposed to feel safe in, their family, their group, and it's really sad, and it's difficult hearing these firsthand accounts of it and watching it and seeing all these people having to deal with this, and it's such like an outdated practice that shouldn't exist. You bring a lot of light to that, and you also, you bring the facts of what they do in these conversion therapy camps and programs, and not only from like a logical perspective, you point out how like ridiculous and like bad it is, but also by talking with these individuals who have gone with it, it makes it so much more clear, like, from an emotional standpoint, like it's just not good. It's a really well put together piece, showcasing, how it's an issue and how they should be outlawed. So I really commend you for making this piece. It was really well done.
This should be for Beyond Conversion. This one, we explore the conversion therapy in New Zealand. They touch on trauma, shame, guilt, how the people that were exposed to this are feeling broken, that are feeling suppressed, invalid, immoral, and how this feels like an elimination or criminalizing and pathologizing their situation, condition, preferences. It is how they think they can overcome a phase and reorient their desire and their pleasure feeling through intense praying, psychological and physical abuse. They are sometimes pushed into marrying just to keep appearances, and how these activists are fighting hard to ban this conversion therapy in New Zealand. How this is also often looked as the solution is to cast out the demons, and they do this through exorcism, deconditioning, or electroshock, rape, and some sort of religion, church leaders counseling. It's the way that they are aiming to getting this preference out of them, that leads to depression and suicidal thoughts for not being normal, not feeling natural. And it's sad to hear about Amanda, who was a big advocate, and they not making it to see the positive, impactful results of their hard work. It's just an hopeful view of things, looking at their efforts and their results and how this is progressing, and it was just great to watch. Great job.
This was a really well done documentary. It's unfortunate that it needs to exist at all in this day and age. That, at least for me, the more I hear about conversion therapy, the more I'm shaking my head. Like, how does anyone possibly think this is not harmful, beneficial, or as anything positive or effective? For me, while I enjoyed this, maybe I'm not the target audience. Uh, I think it's important that this piece exists just with the hope that people who need to understand why conversion therapy doesn't work will watch it and will I don't know, just hopefully kind of change their ideas about it, because it's absolutely just asinine. It was, again, the documentary itself really well put together. It was great to hear from different individuals who've been through it, and even just to hear some of the older footage and how they spoke about it. It's just, again, just makes you shake your head. In that regard, it's kind of fascinating in a way, as unfortunate as it is. But again, I'm glad this piece exists, if for no other reason than to just bring a little more attention to the matter and remind people that it's something that should absolutely be abolished in every country in the world. It's not effective, it's not helpful, and it's in fact the opposite. It's quite harmful, as we've learned from watching. So, yeah, really great job with this piece.
Beyond Conversion does a fantastic job of ripping the lid off of conversion therapy and dispelling myths around it, whether that be like myths about it not happening anymore or that it ever having worked or anything. So it's massively important and educational in that sense. But also in documenting the fight to make conversion therapy illegal, you get a very rare but also very potent story of queer triumph, which brings a real sense of hope to a situation which is so full of horror and trauma. Saying that, the film also shows that there are plenty of people out there who want to obliterate queerness. So there's a lot further for us to go, but the triumph at the heart of the film gives a sense of hope that it's possible to get that far, and for that it's incredibly valuable.